Hey y'all, I'm super excited to talk about this topic. It's a topic that I've been wanting to talk about for a long time, and I knew that it would come with some turned head, some puckered lips, just everything of that sort. But I'm pretty ready to talk about it because none of that is going to move me regardless. In this episode, I kind of want to talk about relationships in the world and how I see relationships and a few flaws that I see in just the way relationships are structured and how dependent people are up on relationships and certain things that I just see as incoherent in relationships. This is coming from a person who never been in a relationship, and this is what gives me the ability to see it differently than most people, because most people come into life and heavily advocate for relationships. It's not the only thing they're looking for because it seems like a way to fulfill yourself, But I'll lead with this point. The only way to be fulfilled is from within. When you're whole, you don't need anybody to fill puzzle pieces for you to feel stable. Most people get in relationships because of this sense of instability, and the partner fills the instability with the pieces that they need. So most of the time, relationships last that way because if either of you leave, it's going to cause instability. You'll rather keep the stability even if it comes with certain costs, even if it comes with not liking each other, because stability is comfortable, instability is uncomfortable. Instability in any system is going to cause crash and everything in tower moments, but stability, you can be stable and be comfortable, and most people in the world want to be comfortable. Most people in the world want to be comfortable. So one of the main things, I'm just talking about things that have confused me for a long time, that I don't get. And I don't know what it is, y'all. I just genuinely don't get it. And I feel like sometimes it's a joke that everybody else is watching me on a TV show and that they're laughing at me because it's really not something that makes sense. But what I've come to realize is that this is something that y'all actually believe, and it's not a joke and nothing to you. I just see it differently. So I'm going to tell you all how I see it. So I mentioned filling in pieces that you are not. So a lot of us, based on the world and based on the structure, it's no fault of our own, but a lot of people are not whole, and it takes a lot to be whole. It takes a lot to know that nothing outside of you determines who you are, and to fill all those spaces within yourself, to not need anything external, but to have that unconditional love for yourself. Go watch my previous episodes on unconditional love. That's the root of everything in this life. Unconditional love for yourself means unconditional love for everything in this world. You need nothing. You're just here for experience. So, but basically, unconditional love for yourself is being whole. When you don't have that unconditional love, you tend to search for things external to fill those pieces that are missing. And a lot of times for people, it's that relationship aspect. But if you ask people, and you'll notice certain people who don't get into relationships, me, for example, I have the unconditional love for myself. So, for example, it's like a relationship for me I would genuinely only get in a relationship. I don't even like the title. I don't like relationships. I don't like titles. I don't like none of that. I just want to know humans. That's what it is. And also, I would never get in a relationship you just have to be better than me. You have to bring more than I ever could bring, and I already bring a lot. So it's hard for me because I don't need anything from anybody. But when you're needing stuff and you're looking for stuff from people, relationships are so easy for you. Most of the people who don't need relationships, they are already fulfilled. And if you go and talk to them, they're going to tell you the same exact thing. It's like, it's really no purpose of it. And let's get into the titles as expectation. Boyfriend, girlfriend, husband. You're no longer like seeing people as people. You're seeing them as a role and as an expectation. They have to meet the expectation of boyfriend. They have to meet the expectation of girlfriend as husband and as wife. So it's no longer authentic. It's now a checklist. It's now do this and do that. That's not fluid. Like you're forcing anything that comes with force, comes with resistance. And because it's so normalized, people are, okay and comfortable with, the resistance in relationships. And that's why, divorce rates are high, relationships aren't lasting. It's forced. We ain't supposed to be doing this, in my opinion. But that's just how the world is. You know, we've become dependent on everything but ourselves. And it's just all about getting back to thyself and realizing again that nothing external defines you. And with these titles and things, it's more of, you know, people try to own or claim people to feel in control. Like, even with loyalty, people try to be exclusive. Exclusivity is not love, it's a security blanket. You're saying, oh, let's be loyal and be exclusive, because with that, it's like, oh, I don't have to worry about them going and cheating. If they do, it's going to be on them, it's not going to be on me. So even if I wasn't enough, oh, they're bad because they went to look for it in somebody else. No, bro, it's weird. Exclusivity is jail. It's jail. You're doing it to own or claim people to feel in control. If there was no exclusivity, people would be doing whatever and fulfilling themselves with the pieces that they're missing everywhere. And I wish people prioritize themselves more than relationships, because if you prioritize yourself more than a relationship, you would come to find that you would actually fulfill yourself more than anybody could. Like, fulfill you in an illusion. I think relationships are illusional fulfillment, because that's why most people experience heavy grief and they don't know how to get over it, because you're not losing the person, you're losing that part of you. You're losing that part of you that they fulfilled. And that is, anything that removes pieces of you is tough. But to you, you're not going to know that, because you didn't know that you were getting in a relationship with them, or you were attracted to them because they filled a missing piece of you. But kind of think of it like this: when you see something in somebody that you love, you're seeing something that, you know, you have the potential for, or that, you know, you have within you that you want to bring to surface. And same if you feel jealous about something, it's the same way. You have that potential, or you're actively going against it. So basically the whole thing is, I don't like the idea of relationships. That's my opinion. And if you're willingly, you know, bringing nothing to a relationship, I just don't understand it. Most people's main goal is to get in a relationship, not even to better themselves. Why? I don't get that. Can somebody literally just, I want to understand the perspective. I don't even want to hate on it. But right now, I am low-key not liking it, because I don't understand what would make somebody not want to pour into themselves but feel empty and run to a relationship. I don't get that. Why don't you want to figure out who you are and find who you are? Knowing yourself is the best thing you can ever do. And when you become to know yourself and you become whole, you don't become dependent on anything. So you can actually experience everything in life, which we are here for. But when you become dependent on things, your experience becomes limited. And my main goal is for everybody in this life is just to be able to experience, like, everything. I don't want you to have limitations, constraints, or things that just are barriers because you are not whole, you're fragmented. I just want everybody to experience life and experience what it is to have that unconditional love for yourself. And it can be hard. Like I said, this is no hate. It's just a very big misunderstanding for me. And it's irritating, truthfully. I don't get it. But I just wish that relationships weren't normalized. I just wish they weren't normalized, but they're normalized because being fragmented and not being whole and relying on other people to fill your energy and fill your love for yourself is so normal. And it's not literally just us, it's systems. You know, people built systems for us to outsource our agency, outsource our opinions. So I mean, this is literally just a path. It's just literally, you know, a branch of that. It's literally just passed down into every system. So we need to start somewhere and begin to piece ourselves back together so that the world can actually operate and benefit. Because what we're missing out a lot on, and I say this kind of in everything, is individuality, is like, you know, but the potential of the world, because so many people and so many things are fragmented. They don't have the potential to be whole, to produce what their signature can produce, you know? And this is one of the biggest things for me. And it may be because of my underlying conditions. Not gonna lie that I see things this way, but I mean, it just is what it is, and this is just how I feel, and I feel so happy to talk about it. I just don't agree with relationships. I agree with them if you all are non-dependent on each other. Of course, like, I would get in a relationship if I'm non-dependent, I would get in a relationship, but the reasons for being non-dependent are different. My background kind of built the non-dependence, but it actually is a gift. But others may say, oh, because you were, yeah, it was built that way, but this is actually the best way to be. Which I had to learn, down the road. But when you're built on dependence, it becomes hard to have that non-dependence, because you're wired to be fragmented, but we're not meant to be fragmented at all. And if we can start small and in these spaces where it's easier to fix, it can be propagated through all of the things in the world. But sincerely, I don't get relationships. I don't think I would ever get them. Even if I do get into something, I would never call it a relationship. I would never use titles, because titles are expectations. I have unspoken boundaries. My life, the way I show up for myself, is enough of a boundary. You can't attract what you aren't. I'm not attracting anything less than who I am. So whatever comes and whatever is mirrored to you in a relationship, if somebody is cheating on you and somebody does not like you, sorry to say, you don't like yourself and you aren't giving yourself enough self-love. I'm sorry, even I haven't been in relationships, but I've had people show me what I think of myself. I genuinely love myself unconditionally, and people have shown me that. But it's not enough for me to get in a relationship right now, because I already have, what most people are looking for. Like I said, you have to overly benefit me, and I don't know how that's gonna work. So who knows if I ever get in a relationship? And again, I'm not gonna call it a relationship. I don't know. I don't need nothing from nobody. So even with that being said, though, think about it like that. You should be non-dependent with everything. Go into every life situation and everything not needing anything. You will leave better than before. Just get rid of expectation. Get rid of expectation and be non-dependent, because this world is ever so changing. So, like, things are going to change, and if your needs are dependent on the external world, like I say all the time, you are never going to be stable. And you should be stable regardless. Your core should be stable. Life should be stable for you internally, not externally. And that's something that I definitely want to get across, and something that I want to build as a whole with everybody, because when we all become more stable, the world does as well. And it's not stable, as a group. It's stable individually. Become stable individually with yourself. And again, I'm not saying it's the easiest thing to do. We have been conditioned for other things, but once you start to do it and you start to understand what it is, and you realize how unshakable you can become, it's going to be the best thing you can do. And if you hear this right now and you hate me, oh my gosh, perfect. Because, it's just hitting up on some, some structure that you currently have. And I know, based on the world, how the world is right now, so many people are, into relationships and dependent on relationships. So this probably going to strike some bones. And I'm okay with that. I knew it was when I said it. But it's just generally my opinion. It's the way I see it. And I just don't agree with it. Respectfully, nothing against y'all. It's not bad or good. I just don't have an understanding. It doesn't make sense to me, and it never did. And I just wanted to share that. Okay? Okay, bye guys.